Well, it's personal between me and you, and I'm going to do you some serious harm, you big stiff idiot.
The Untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, I wanted to get my little take on Callum Smith last night on the Joshua card because, you know, Callum Smith is, when he was at 168 and he was being trained by Joe Gallagher and Canelo wanted to fight him, I criticized him a lot because, truthfully speaking, he's a guy that I think at 168 won world titles, not because he was the most skilled, not because he was this great fighter, but more so because he just was bigger than everyone. And against a certain level of opposition, he could exploit that size advantage. But then you saw ultimately when he fought the guys like John Ryder, when he fought guys like Canelo, he got severely exposed for just being nothing more than a solid fighter who had one distinct advantage and exploited it to all the way to a world title and winning the World Boxing Super Series. But, you know, he got found out at the highest levels of boxing, you know, against Ryder and Canelo. But since the Canelo fight, he switched to Buddy McGirt, right? He moved up to 175, which I think was a great move by him because Callum Smith would have to kill himself to make 168, much like Dave Benavidez has to kill himself to make 168. But unlike Benavidez, he actually said, okay, I can't make this weight. It's not good for me. I'm not my best. So let me go to 175. And it's the most beautiful thing he's done in his career because now, and not even just that, he's not with Joe Gallagher anymore, which, you know, respect to Joe Gallagher. He's a hardworking trainer, like many trainers in boxing. I'm not here to talk down on Joe Gallagher, but, you know, he got Buddy McGirt, who I felt like could teach Callum a little bit more and take him to that next level. And I believe he has, because Callum Smith used to have this bad habit of being 6'3", being this gargoyle at 168, but constantly giving up his size. He didn't really show a lot of outside boxing ability. He didn't really use that long rangey frame of his. And the sad part about that is like Callum Smith can really, really punch. So when he's giving up that size, he's making himself easier to beat against the opponents, you know. And you don't want to make yourself easier to beat in anything in life, especially boxing, because it's a hard business and a hard sport to make it in. But last fight he fought Leonard Castillo, he flattened him. Like he knocked out Leonard Castillo so bad his leg was shaking they couldn't even show him on camera. Devastating knockout. That was his first fight, Buddy McGirt. His second fight, Buddy McGirt, was just yesterday against Canada's very own, or France's very own, but he trained in Canada, Mateo Batalique. Now, to me, Mateo Batalique was an unknown commodity. I don't really know. I never really knew a whole lot about him. He did have one decent win, apparently, where he was the underdog against Igor McCalkin, who was like a mainstay at the European level, but hadn't really fought anybody at the level of Callum Smith. He was 22-1 coming in, and southpaw, you know, kind of tricky, a little bit of elusive at times, but for the most part, I think Callum boxed a really good fight. Callum Smith showed a really good jab, a lot more patience on the outside that he's shown in his career against a good boxer like Batalique, a good technical boxer like Batalique. And then I think it was like around the third or the fourth round, he made the conscious decision that this guy can't hurt me. He can't fuck with me. I'm gonna get him out of here, and I'm gonna beat him up quickly and swiftly. And then ultimately he put that big 6'3" frame on him after he established himself on the outside and, you know, hurt him a little bit. And he landed a left hook that put Batalique out and sent him halfway through the ropes. So Callum Smith, not only has he looked better at 175, but I'm going to say it, and people may say, oh, well, BT, I think you're just being a prisoner of the moment. And you can't say that because I didn't even watch the fight live. I watched it later on in the day. But Callum Smith, I think, if he keeps listening to Buddy McGirt, and he keeps developing those outside boxing skills and that patience on the outside, the way he's been showing in these last few fights, moving that head, boxing on the outside, and then at times using that 6'3" frame to push down and barrel on top of people, I think he's a legitimate threat to the light heavyweight division. A legitimate threat. I'm talking about a guy that can actually go in there and win a world title. And that's not a statement I put lightly, because the reality is, when you talk about the guys who have belts at 175, you are literally talking about the creme de la creme of boxing. You're talking about some of the best fighters this sport has to offer. And you're talking about two of the best fighters in recent times. And when I say recent, I mean like the last 30 or 40 years. You're talking about two fighters in recent times that may just be the best light heavyweights of all time in like the last 30 to 40 years. They're up there. Beterbiev and Bivol are up there, and they're cementing their place in history fight by fight. he won that fight against Battle League. Battle League was WBC mandatory, and WBC, it was a WBC final eliminator. Now Callum Smith's WBC mandatory. So now, what that means for Callum Smith is that basically he's in line to get a title shot against Artur Beterbiev, but Artur Beterbiev has to fight Anthony Yarde. So at some point that title shot may come. Now, can Callum Smith beat Artur Beterbiev? I'll be honest with you, I don't think he can beat Artur Beterbiev. I'm picking Artur Beterbiev to win if they ever fight. But with the way he's improving, the way he's developing, the way he's just boxing from the outside, and it really seems like, believe it or not, I know the opposition hasn't been the greatest, but you can only be who's put in front of you in life. You can only take care of the task that God has put in front of you in life. Callum Smith looks like he's finding his identity as a fighter right before our very eyes. You know, and that's the crazy thing. He won a world title at 168 and became a Ring Magazine champion, and he never really even, I think, found his full identity as a fighter. He kind of just relied on being big, being strong, and using that to his advantage to exploit what he wanted to exploit. But I never really thought Callum Smith knew his identity in the ring. With Buddy McGirt, you kind of see his identity in the ring, you know, which is, you know, be a boxer from the outside first and foremost. Establish that jab. Move that head. Don't make yourself easy to hit. Don't square up. Don't give up your size if you don't have to. And if you give up your size to fight on the inside, you only do it with the awareness that the guy you're fighting, your opponent, can't hurt you. You know, and that's been the common theme in these two fights versus Leonard Castillo and Beterbiev Battle League. So, do I think it'll be Beterbiev? No, but do I think with the way he's developing that if Beterbiev has an off night, he could beat him? Yes. I do. I think Callum Smith can win a world title at 175. I really do. If he's not going to get that fight next against Beterbiev, which I don't think he will, I would like to see him fight, you know, like a Jean Pascal type of opponent. Who I know Pascal is fighting Buatsi in the IBF, but I want to see him fight like somebody who can punch. I want to see him fight someone who can punch a little bit, because it's a little easy. Nothing's easy, but I'm saying it's easier to have those kind of performances when you're fighting guys who can't punch, and you know that even if they return fire, it's not going to be like anything to worry about. So I would personally like to see him fight someone with some firepower, so I can see how Callum Smith would do against somebody with some firepower. And if it's not with somebody with some like punching power, then I'll like it to be against someone who's like a John Ryder type of fighter, like a fighter that is physically strong, that can get in his chest and grind him down. Because we saw in the Canelo fight and the Ryder fight, he's not really good with that kind of a style. And the thing is, I think he needs to be good with that style, because Beterbiev is like Ryder and Canelo times 300 if we're talking about physical strength and getting in your chest and grinding you down. He's all that, plus elite boxing skills, plus elite power, plus elite killer instincts, plus elite, like he's like that times 500. So he's gonna need to get reacquainted with that kind of style and fighter if he's really gonna be ready for a Beterbiev. So I would take one more fight, honestly. I wouldn't just sit on that ranking and wait. I would take one fight, maybe two if you can get two in against physically strong guys, not no pillow-fisted fighters, not no technical fighters. I'm talking like these guys that will grind you down, swarmers, as we call them in boxing. These are the kind of fighters that I think will get Callum Smith ready for a Beterbiev fight. But I'll give him his credit, because I've talked a lot of shit in the past about Mundo Smith, all right? He is much improved under Buddy McGirt, and I think I have to give him his just due and acknowledge that. So, yeah, leave your comments down below. What did you guys make of Callum Smith's performance against Mateo Battle League? And what do you think about his development in his first two fights under Buddy McGirt at 175? Leave your comments down below. Make sure you guys take the time to subscribe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Daniel. So until next time, take care, guys. Thank you for watching another video on True School Sports, the home of boxing. If you made it this far, do me a favor and do yourself a damn favor. Hit that subscribe button, and surely you will not be disappointed. You know, True School Sports bringing you the latest and greatest, the untouchable, you know, boxing content, interviews, news videos, breakdowns, live fight reaction extravaganza. We've got a great community of people here, boxing fans all over the world, from America to the UK to Australia, and on and on and on. So join the empire today. Hit that subscribe button. Take care and God.